From the early divide between Professor X and Magneto, to the ideological standoff between Rogue and Cyclops and Raid on Grey Malkin, dive into the most powerful rifts that tore the X-Men apart. The X-Men have always rallied behind Professor X's hope for harmony between mutants and humans, but they often clashed over the best way to reach that goal. Sometimes pushed by deep beliefs, other times manipulated by outside forces, these heroes and their allies have turned on one another more often than you'd think. What began as small arguments between comrades sometimes escalated into all-out wars that shook the very foundations of their world. The split between Rogue's crew and Cyclops' faction exploded during Raid on Grey Malkin, a 4-issue event that reached its climax in Uncanny X-Men issue 8. We're revisiting the X-Men's fiercest internal conflicts, how they started, why they spiraled, and how they changed mutantkind forever. At the heart of the X-Men's legacy lies the philosophical split between Charles Xavier and Magneto. Long before mutants became household names, Charles and Eric formed a friendship that eventually fractured over their opposing worldviews, as seen in Uncanny X-Men issue 161. Charles believed in building a peaceful bridge between mutants and humanity, while Magneto believed mutants were the next stage of evolution and should act like it. The two grew close while stopping Baron Strucker's gold heist, but Magneto walked away when their conflicting ideals proved impossible to reconcile. As time passed, Charles's hopeful vision fueled the X-Men, while Magneto's fiercer beliefs gave rise to groups like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and later, the Acolytes. Time and again, Xavier's and Magneto's forces clashed, sometimes as enemies, sometimes as reluctant allies. Both sides saw their teammates switch loyalties, Quicksilver and Colossus being just two examples of surprising turncoats. Even Magneto softened enough at times to stand with the X-Men, while Xavier once sank so low, he sided with Magneto's Brotherhood. After the X-Men splintered and scattered across the cosmos, they eventually came together again for the Muir Island Saga, which kicked off in Uncanny X-Men. At this time, Cyclops, Jean Grey, and the rest of the original X-Men regrouped under the name X-Factor, while another squad, including Wolverine, Storm, and Gambit, was off-planet dealing with the Shi'ar Empire. Back on Earth, a handful of mutants had taken refuge on Muir Island, where they were working alongside longtime ally, Moira McTaggart. Unfortunately, the Shadow King had also made his way to Muir Island and began manipulating Colossus, Rogue, Polaris, Psylocke, Legion, and other X-Men through his telepathic powers.